Hi, my name is Daniel, and in this video we're going to create a mobile version of a mobile client using the Neptune mobile build services. We'll start by accessing the mobile client tool. In here, let's select the mobile client which we're going to build a mobile version. Inside the mobile client, we're going to click on Build. In here, we can create and manage mobile builds of the mobile client that can be distributed later to the end users. First, let's put it on edit mode and let's add a new one. In the general settings, we can add a version and a description with the changes made with each new mobile client version. We can also add to the build custom UI5 themes or just leave the option to export no custom themes enabled, as is by default. As you can see, we can't access the builds or the app files, and that's because we need to save this new version that we're creating. So let's go to general settings again. We can add a little description. And now let's save. Now we have access to the build and app files. If we go over to build, we have the option to do a Cordova build. When we press this button, it will give us the option to select the target platforms to create this new build version. Let's do an Android build, for example. Now that we have only Android selected, we'll press the Build Cordova button and start the building process. This process can take a while to finish, but after that, it will create a zip file that we will need to upload in the mobile build services. We can access this service inside the Neptune portal account. Now that we have the zip file created, let's click on download. As you can see, we have the zip file exported and we can proceed to go to the Neptune portal account. Once we're inside the Neptune portal account, let's click on the mobile build services. Inside the mobile build services, we can see all of the builds as well as all of the certificates. Inside certificates, if there's any certificate to add, we can click on the Create button and choose the target platform of that certificate. In here, we have all of the options to add a new certificate inside the mobile build services. Let's go back to Build and click on New Build. Now we're going to create a new build. Let's start by selecting the account that's going to create the build. In build type, we can choose a Cordova or capacitor build, although the option of the capacitor build is still experimental. So for now, we're going to pick Cordova. We can also choose if we want a release or a debug build. Let's pick release for our build type. Now we're going to upload the zip file that we downloaded previously. Over here, we have the available platforms to create a build for each one. But since we created the zip file only for Android, we need to select this checkbox under Android to enable the creation of this build for the Android platform. If you have an Android key store already created and added to the certificates inside the mobile build services, you can choose from this list. And in the Android package type, we're going to choose APK. Let's click on Save and Build. As we can see, we started the building process and the mobile build service will do the rest in the background. We can also check the status of the build. For now, it shows as uploaded. This process can take a while. Now that we have our mobile build finished, we can share this build in two ways to the end user. In our build, when the status is marked as completed, we can access the scan button. This button will show the generated QR code that you can use to share it with the end users directly, but it's also recommended to upload the generated APK file from this build in the mobile client. Let's do that now. So let's start by closing. We download the build file, and to do that we click on the APK button. Then we go back to the mobile client, and now we go to app files. Inside app files, we have the available platforms to upload the files generated previously in the mobile build services. So, since we did a build for Android, let's upload that build file under the Android platform. After uploading the APK file, we go back to General again. Now we need to put it as active and save. Now that we have an active build in our mobile client, there's still an extra step needed to do. The next step we need to do is to go to the catalog. So first, let's close our build version, and inside the mobile client, let's go to catalog. And in here, we need to set publish as yes and click on the visible to all option. This will make the APK available for the end users to download when accessing the Neptune catalog. Let's save our changes to the mobile client. We talked about sharing the APK via the QR code, but we can also share it via the catalog as well. And to do that, we're going to access the Neptune catalog. To access the Neptune catalog, we can write on the search bar catalog. Let's do that. So, when accessing the catalog, it will open a new window which will contain all the mobile clients with the created builds. You can then share this URL with the end users for them to access it from their mobile devices to install the build. This is also useful to verify if the new build is showing in the catalog. Let's do a quick check on the Neptune catalog to see if our mobile client is present with the newest build. And as you can see, we have our mobile client here with the newest build version as well. Also, the install button is disabled, but that's because we're not accessing the catalog via a mobile device.